This is Mike Meadows from the band Ditchwater, and you are listening to the Beautifully Delicious podcast.
Brutally delicious.
And you know, that works
What
just
did I
fine.
say?
Beautifully.
Did I say beautifully?
It's
Isn't
all
it
good.
though?
We now have the best intro of the week.
Hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast, and I am Mr. Soda Can.
Hey, I'm going to be a gentleman. I'm going to let the lady go first.
Oh, cool. This is Rena from Silentium having the awesome pleasure of guest hosting.
Guest hosting what?
Guest hosting the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Okay, cool. This is Chris, and
know
we're
what-
going to rock your fucking socks off. Okay.
Jesus God. Here we go. Today we're going to be speaking right off the bat with Mike Meadows from Ditchwater. And I know, Chris, you did some research on these guys. Tell us a little bit about them.
They're heavy as fuck. They have one song that I listened to. Shit, I can't remember the name of it now. But I just listened to their new video, The Pain. And it's kind of like a heavy metal ballad. There's a lot of screaming, but it's slow. And, you know, honestly, it's one of those songs you could hear at a country bar played with an acoustic guitar. So, but it's it's also quite heavy.
Well, with that, we'll go ahead and grab Mike on the line and see what he's got to say. All right?
Okay.
Hang tight.
There we go.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? It's Bruce Moore. Sorry about the earlier.
No, all good, man.
I got my partners, Chris, on the line and the guest host, Rena. Chris fucked up all the timing, so I'm sorry about that.
It's all my fault.
No, it's all right.
And we've got Rena with us too. Rena, say hello.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm all right, actually.
Nice.
Hey,
Where you at?
Who's got their fucking email notifications on?
I'm sorry, that was me. And that was my calendar. It is actually telling us to start the other interview in 10 minutes.
Usually I get blamed for that, so thank you for taking the heat here. Mike, where are you guys at, Mike?
The band's in Chicago. Currently, I'm driving in Indiana, but we're a Chicago-based band.
Why are you driving in Indiana?
Because I live here, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'd rather live here than Illinois. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the highway like that you're on right now?
Fucked.
Is there like tons of potholes everywhere?
No, this section's pretty smooth. There's just a ton of trucks dropping shit off the back, and I'm dodging it in my Hellcat.
Nice.
Sounds great.
You're currently doing about 98 miles an hour with me. Ladies and gentlemen.
Holy shit balls.
Okay, so I'm Finnish. I don't know what the fuck that means. Why can't you just do the metric system, people?
Because I'm not mathematically gifted.
Neither do. And it's so much easier when it's just tens and hundreds and thousands and not like, well, this is 8.5 steps and like the weight of a chicken. And then you multiply these and, you know.
Or you can instead of doing all that, you can just say that chicken's 3 pounds.
Yes, Mike, I agree.
Okay, anyways, let's get to the band.
Oh, yeah, that's why we're here.
mean, we can fight about the metric system because Rita and I will have differing views on this compared to you guys. But, you know, anyways, so Ditchwater, give us your elevator pitch, like 2 sentences. What's the band about?
We are about music and our fans and making people smile and having a good time, sober or otherwise.
Is it more often otherwise? Because for us, it's more often otherwise.
I won't speak for the other people in the band, but I generally like to stay unsober.
You generally like to stay unsober.
I do, yeah. It's just so much more fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then
Not
the
when
song.
I'm driving, though. When I'm driving.
I was just watching the new video for Never Say Never, and I was saying, okay, either this is a song about a guy with a drinking problem or a relationship problem. So apparently it's a relationship problem.
So I said maybe those two are actually interlinked. I don't know.
They could be.
The beans, Mike?
that particular, it was more of a life problem. That was a true story, pretty much. When I wrote that song, when I wrote the lyrics for the song, it was probably minutes after something happened at home. And that's exactly what I did. I sat down and I wrote a song and drank. So
been there.
When we decided to, and that's, yeah, like everybody has, I think. So when we sat down to write the script for the video, I was lucky because the band allowed me to do it. First of all, they kind of put it in my hands because the song was so personable to me. And it was a no brainer. Like, I wanted to tell the story, not necessarily exactly what happened, but something that everybody can relate to in their life.
Cool.
All right.
So do you write a lot of videos or do other creative stuff as well on top of your music?
So this video is my first, be my last. I had a great time. So I'm already working on the next one.
Oh, cool. That's
Nice.
cool.
Okay, so when I found out we were going to interview you, I just quickly searched your name, and the song "The Way You Are" came up for me first.
Yeah,
and I agree with a lot of what it says. I agree with it for sure. But it's a big lyrical change from "This Pain," or "Never Say Never," or "This Pain."
Yeah, this pain. It's a different story.
Okay, cool. It just struck me like a lot of times bands have a thematic thing that they do, you know, and "The Way You Are" kind of came across to me as almost like it didn't sound like black metal, but it had that same kind of messaging, if that makes any sense. But then I watched "This Pain" and I was like, well, this is so different. Is that intentional? You're just kind of going with what you're inspired by at that moment, or?
Very much so. So both songs are real personal, actually, and that one, it's about a person that was in my life, and I probably had, I don't know, 4 or 5 times more verses than what we recorded. There was so much material, and then what ended up being what some people would call the melody of that song turned into this like New York style rap. I don't know what that was. It just came out. So we decided to go with it. It's a very different song for us, but lyrically, I think I wrote that a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Every time we perform it, I'm still extremely upset and mad when I perform it.
Wow.
So, it just gets the blood pumping, and it was different, but that's what turned us on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That makes it more authentic, though, doesn't it, when you're feeling it and when you're in it?
For me, it does, yeah. Sometimes I don't write the lyrics, so I have to figure out a way to not necessarily sell it, but believe in it, so I'm passionate about it when I sing it. And when I write it from my perspective, it's so much easier, and that song just touches a nerve in me that I remember everything that happened, and I still want to rip his fucking head off. So, you know.
Right.
Amen. Pun intended.
Metaphorically.
Yeah.
What's the ratio of lyrical writing then? Who else writes the lyrics, and are most of them yours or somebody else's?
Mark Anderson, the guitar player, he writes a lot. I write a lot. And then we use what's best. It doesn't, we're not this band where like, okay, you get 5 songs and I'll get 5 songs. It doesn't usually work that way. And there's a lot of times I have stuff and Mark his stuff's better, or I connect with it better, or it meant a lot to him, and not everything I write is personal. A lot of it's just stories that someone tells me. We had a song called Broken Me it was just a story told to me by a fan, and I ran with it, but
cool.
It's all about what's best for the song.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing where inspiration can come from.
Anywhere.
I just finished
I'm
watching.
being inspired by this jerk off in a yellow Pontiac.
Nice.
If I could talk on the phone and write at the same time while I'm driving, we'd have a hit, I think.
Since you're in Indiana, it probably has a bumper sticker that says, "If Jesus had a gun, he'd still be alive."
He should have it.
So American.
It looks like a she. and it should have a bumper sticker that says, "I don't know how to fucking drive."
That's sexist, Mike.
Road rage. This is the first time we've had road rage on the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Listen, I'm not getting out of the car.
I'm going to
No
try
one's
and
gonna
calm you down with a familiar sound. Hold on.
Oh, you suck. It's like midnight in Finland right now. She's already started drinking.
Oh,
It's 5:30 p.m. Totally a cool
well,
time.
it's 9:30 here, and I'm headed to a cocktail. So,
Hey, all right.
So, Mike, how has this pandemic and this current situation affected the band? Are you guys still able to get together in person, or are you just mostly emailing stuff back and forth?
both. We email a lot, and Zoom and all that other crazy technology. But we still get together and rehearse. We're not as scared of no ghosts. we're in it together. So if one of us gets it, we're all going to get it eventually anyway.
So are you guys doing anything then to like interact differently with your fans because you can't really get out on the road? So are you doing any of those like Skype or Zoom shows or any kind of personal stuff like that?
So we haven't done any live stream shows as of yet. For me, I've seen a bunch. I've seen some good ones, and I've seen some that are just like disastrous just because of the sound.
Yeah.
So we made the decision to wait until we could do it really good. And I think we're doing that through the label October 10th. So we're pretty excited. It'll be our first show in 7 months.
What label are you guys with again?
They were Pavement. We do a lot of stuff with Pavement. Great people.
Really
great team there for sure.
They seem to work their ass off for bands. Like we get calls from them all the time.
Yeah, they do. Barbara is fantastic. Tim's fantastic. Like everybody's just been good to us, and it's really a load off our plate where we have already started writing new songs, and I think we're going to go and do an acoustic record, because we're bored and there's no end to this in sight.
Yeah.
Right.
So you start thinking about, well, what are you going to do next?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. I got one more. I'm going to interrupt because
of course
I'm already ahead of you guys.
Goddamn email notifications.
That wasn't me anymore. It was not me. I turned off all the notifications, all the interviews.
Mike, when you guys are you writing a song like for the song's sake, how it's going to come across on the album? Or are you writing a song how it's going to come across like live on stage? Like this will be a great, breakdown or a great whatever. Does that make sense? Yeah,
no, we try to write with live in mind. Like if we can't pull it off live, we just kind of scrap that or simplify it. I write songs so I can play live, and Mark plays live so he can write songs. So, everything I think about is live or performance based. When we sat to even figure out the single, the first thing I thought of was the imagery, and I was like, well, this pain should be the single. Like it was a no-brainer to me.
It's a catchy tune, man.
Yeah, it's just I could see it, and I wanted people to feel it, not watch it, and I wanted people to feel it, not hear it. So it's the song. Mark writes just incredible riffs. Like the guy's a riff machine, and I let that take us where we're gonna go. I don't really think about so much, hey, does this sound like whoever's number one right now? Because I don't even know what that is. But I think it's Cardi B and
that Wop Wop song or whatever the hell it is.
It's actually it stands for wet ass pussy.
I love
what it is.
I love that.
I really wish.
So good. You go, girls.
I really wish it would dry up. To be honest with you.
Like Ben Shapiro's wife's pussy.
Oh my God.
That's why God made spit.
Oh my God.
Alrighty then.
You're the most tender lover ever any woman has ever met.
Yeah, they're all lining up just now.
Right.
There goes my DMs.
Drive that truck all the way to Finland, baby.
What a great guy.
Have you ever had an interview like this before?
No.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm going to leave you with one more because we've got a full day here. I'm going to leave you with one more good one. You ready? This is the one we get the most questions about. And I need a serious answer, so just think about it for a second. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? No, it's a fucking hot dog.
But why? Wait a second. What? Give me the definition of a sandwich. It's a definition of a sandwich is something between two pieces of bread, right?
Right.
So how is a hot dog not a sandwich?
What if you don't eat it in bread?
Oh, shit.
So if you cut up a hot dog and put it in beans, is it a
That's
bean
not a
sandwich?
hot dog. The wiener.
It's
What
a
makes a
hot
hot
dog.
dog is the bread and the wiener. Yay. You're
So if I
confusing
don't-
the hot
I
dog
think
with the wiener.
Hold on. If I take out a package of hot dogs because it says hot dogs on the outside and it doesn't come with a bun or bread,
Oh, no.
shouldn't it just say like a
Fuck.
wiener in a package?
I've said that before.
You said wiener.
That was Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, my.
You teed it up and I just drove it.
Nice.
Okay.
That was-
Anyways,
Mike, you got anything else, Chris?
I don't, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. And please come back anytime.
Thanks for having me. You guys call me whenever you want.
Yeah,
I'm
actually,
going to Finland. I got to catch a plane.
I got two things for you. One, can you just tell fans where they could find you guys and your music, band camps, or any of that stuff?
Ditchwater.net, YouTube, Twitter, fucking Instagram. We're on TikTok with a
All
bunch
right.
of other 13-year-old girls.
So are you dancing around on TikTok or like, what are you doing?
I think one of us is playing with a chicken. You'll have to check that out.
Okay. I don't even have TikTok, but I'll get it now.
There you go.
just
Yeah,
see
if you
that.
want to see a grown man choke a chicken, that's where you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.